The wrench slipped from my grip and rang against the concrete like a judge's gavel. Every machine in the bay froze. The only heartbeat left was the drip of coolant. My brother-in-law's voice floated over the silence, velvet and vicious. "Clock out, Harper. The keys are his now." 10 years of midnight oil, every scar and skipped weekend, vanished in that single sentence. They waited for me to explode, to beg, to break. I wiped the grease from my palms, draped my coveralls on the hook, and stepped into the January dark without a sound. They called it surrender. I called it the first clean breath I'd taken in a decade. 11 years earlier, my father, Victor Lang, pressed a pair of battered ear protectors into my hands. "Forge is yours to guard, kid. Earn the name." I was 21. Lang Precision Fabricators, founded by my grandmother Evelyn in 1968, became my cathedral. I learned every spindle, every tolerance, every hiss of the plasma cutter. The air tasted of hot iron and ozone. In winter the windows sweated, in summer the roof radiated like a skillet. I thrived. Evelyn used to say, "Iron never forgets the wrists that taught it." My mother Clara floated through with thermoses of soup and gentle warnings. "Keep the peace, Harper. Your father's heart is in the right place." My younger sister Ivy preferred spreadsheets and skylines. She married Logan Reed, a marketing savant whose shoes never carried a scuff. When Logan streamlined the front office, Victor introduced him as the new face of Lang. I shook Logan's manicured hand while hydraulic fluid dripped from my sleeve. His smile was all teeth. At first, I swallowed the shift. I believed sweat had currency. I ran double shifts, rebuilt the old house after the flood, trained every green apprentice. Logan posted filtered photos beside the water jet, steering tradition into tomorrow. Victor hit share. Clara added clapping emojis. My name never appeared. Then came the glossy company SUV for Logan, client-facing asset, Victor explained. I still nursed a '98 Dakota that backfired like a warning shot. One dusk, as I bled a hydraulic line, Logan breezed past in linen. "Don't burn the midnight oil, Harper. Perception is profit." I stared at the pressure gauge until the numbers blurred. By February, the erosion was measurable. Logan's title upgraded to COO in the signature block of every purchase order. Meeting minutes quoted Logan's vision in bold. At family supper, Clara echoed, "He's bringing scale, honey. The kind you feel later." I chewed slower, tasting metal. Logan's selfies multiplied, him leaning on my custom fixture, caption honoring the Lang legacy. Likes poured in. My stomach nodded, not at the theft, but at how seamlessly the lie was swallowed. Spring brought the coup de grace. Victor called an all hands. I arrived with coolant on my boots. Logan's PowerPoint glowed, my workflow diagrams, my cycle time reductions, my wording. Victor beamed. "That's executive thinking, son." "Son." Logan preened. The room spun. After, old-timer Gus Mueller lingered, tobacco breath and kind eyes. "Your grandma said a shop runs on the calluses that sign the timesheet. Lately the calluses don't sign." I asked if he ever wanted out. He tapped the scarred workbench. "Regrets for folks who never knew what they built." Summer baked the tin roof. Logan got the corner office with the window. I got overtime without hazard pay. When I asked about equity, Victor waved a hand. "Everything's locked in growth, Harp. One day it's yours." One day. The phrase calcified. Then the invoices began bouncing. Clients phoned me at 2 a.m. because Logan had promised tolerances he couldn't spell. I fixed, he presented, Victor applauded. The final fracture arrived in December. Apex Aerospace wired a glowing testimonial to Mr. Reed for the turbine blades I'd ground to 6 decimals. I slid the printout across Victor's
"Great
desk.
branding win." He chuckled.
I nodded. Branding. That night the shop was a tomb. I was stress testing a new fixture when a manila envelope slid from the rafters, misfiled, confidential, irresistible. I wiped my hands on a shop rag and opened it. Articles of Amendment. Effective 6 months prior. Majority shares, Logan Reed. Signatures, Victor and Clara Lang. My name listed under Key Personnel, Non-Equity. The letters burned hotter than any torch. A decade distilled to a footnote. I sat on the cold floor until the overheads clicked off automatically. Then I powered down every machine, the dying whine a requiem. On Victor's blotter, I left a single sheet. Resignation effective now. Good luck keeping the lights on. I pocketed Evelyn's original logbook, a Polaroid of her beside the first welder, and her cracked leather gloves. The parking lot glittered with frost. My truck coughed awake. The neon lang sign stuttered, then steadied, still spelling a lie. I crashed above brew and bolt coffee, courtesy of owner Mila Chen. She left espresso and a croissant outside my door each dawn, no questions. For 9 days I woke at 4:57 a.m., muscle memory hunting phantoms. On the 10th, Victor's name lit my phone. Harper, Apex is pulling the contract. Logan can't hit the specs. We're hemorrhaging. Please. His voice cracked like thin ice. I watched snow swirl past the window. Let the vacuum seal it, Dad. Silence isn't surrender. It's the invoice finally coming due. I ended the call. The phone buzzed itself hoarse. Messages from the floor trickled in, Logan missing vendor calls, Apex scheduling an audit, Victor aging a decade overnight. Mila slid a mug across the counter. You gonna watch them sink? I folded the newspaper. They picked the helm. But I wasn't idle. I printed every email praising my work, every production graph showing 220% growth under my watch, every expense report Logan
Bring the
had
paper
buried.
trail.
Then attorney Sage Navarro smelled of leather and justice.
Turned legal shark.
She scanned the stack,
Heard rumors.
eyes narrowing at Logan's $6,200 team-building home golf simulator. This isn't optics, Harper. It's fraud. And Evelyn's founding charter? Equity follows the hands that feed the fire. That's enforceable intent. For the first time since the envelope, oxygen returned to my lungs. We built the case like a precision part. Gus delivered a cigar box of Evelyn's annotated ledgers, phrases circled in red, shared burden, shared bounty. We subpoenaed Apex correspondence, vendor ledgers, Logan's Amex. Every night I fell asleep to the click of Sage's highlighter. The courtroom in Door County smelled of varnish and dread. Victor, Clara, and Logan sat rigid, ties askew. I took the stand in clean jeans and Evelyn's gloves folded in my pocket. Sage projected the charter, the growth charts, the golf simulator receipt. My voice stayed level. I was told my inheritance was the work. Turns out the work was never the inheritance. Cross-examination shredded Logan. Name a client you courted. Describe a toolpath. Define surface feet per minute. He floundered. The gallery leaned forward. Sage's final question, Mr. Reed, what does the company make? He opened his mouth, closed it. The judge removed his glasses. Enough. Ruling. Transfer voided for breach of founding intent and fiduciary misconduct. Assets liquidated. Proceeds split 50/50ths between Harper Lang and Ivy Reed. Gavel. Victor's shoulders folded like cheap tin. Clara stared at her hands. Logan looked suddenly small. Outside, winter sun glinted off the bay. I inhaled until my ribs sang. Freedom tasted metallic and sweet. 3 months later, $81,400 hit my account, seed money. I leased a cinderblock bay on the industrial spur, installed 2 refurbished mills, and hung a hand-painted sign, Lang Forge Collective. First spindle spin echoed like a heartbeat. Apex called within a week. We want the Harper touch back. Name your rate. I quoted 15% above market. They wired a deposit before close of business. Gus showed up day 1, beard snow white. He ran a palm over the restored 1968 welder. Evelyn's grinning somewhere. I handed him a fresh pair of gloves. We're just getting started. By autumn the bays rang dawn to dusk. My invoices, my tolerances, my name on the manifest. One evening the overhead door rolled up. Victor stood silhouetted, hat in hand. Shop looks good, kid. I kept wiping a spindle. Silence stretched. Finally, I was wrong. I met his eyes. Wrong has a cost. You paid it. He nodded, turned, left. The door rolled down like a period. Some nights I stand on the catwalk, watching sparks fountain like gold fireworks. The machines sing the same song, but the lyrics are mine now. Revenge isn't a scream, it's the steady cadence of a cutter that knows exactly whose hand guides it. I rest my palm on warm steel and whisper to the dark, silence isn't empty. It's the sound of everything they tried to bury finally breaking surface. If you've ever been written off and forged your own signature in fire, this story is yours. Where are you reading from tonight? Healing doesn't thunder. It hums, one perfect revolution at a time.